this week's show, I'm pleased to be joined by Kathy Dunn and Joe Bordeaux of the YMCA. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be here again.
And Joe, welcome to the show. I think you've both been on in the past.
Yes, Mayor. Yeah, that's correct.
At some point. Joe, you're the executive director?
I'm the branch executive for the Elizabeth branch of the Y.
Okay, and Kathy, you're the general director and CEO of the YMCA of Eastern Union County.
Right.
So you got a much bigger title than him.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Yeah, the directors, tell me a little bit about your involvement, Kathy. We've talked about this in the past, but it's always a good story on how you wound up from Kentucky heading a YMCA in the city of Elizabeth and Union.
Yeah, as you've said, I grew up in Covington, Kentucky, and had worked for the Y part-time while I was in high school and then in college, and then was hired by the Y in Louisville, Kentucky, and did really a national search for a job in management with the Y, and was offered the job initially at our Five Points branch in Union, and then, doesn't seem possible, but 25 years ago was promoted to the job I have now. And it's been a great ride. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
And where exactly is the Y located for our viewers in Elizabeth?
We're located at 144 and 135 Madison Avenue in Elizabeth.
And you also run the one in Union, which is at?
At 201 Tucker Avenue at 5 Points, and then we have a branch in Rahway on Irving Street, downtown Rahway. Absolutely.
You got to bounce around all of them, I guess. Huh?
I certainly do.
What services does the YMCA provide to our city?
Well, we provide a variety of services. We have three main areas. Housing, in which we provide services to men and women both, as well as families. We have what's called a single-room occupancy dormitory on our Madison Avenue building on our third and fourth floor, and as well as we have a homeless shelter that's in our former pool. And we offer transitional housing as well as affordable housing. So we have this large housing program. We're housing about 215 people per night. We also have a child care program in which we're serving children beginning at 18 months through elementary age, and we provide service from 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night for parents who need to work and for children's education. And then finally we have what the Y is known for. We have a very large health and wellness program. Serve about 500 children, men and women per day in health wellness programs.
The first time you came on the show, you hated to do it. Now you're like an old pro, Kathy. Joe, one of the things that you get involved with is your partnership with the city and the program that serves teens. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that program.
Yeah, we were really pleased to become involved with the city, Mayor. The SOAR program out of your Department of Human Services. About around September or so, we partnered with them. They were interested in space initially, but we said, well, I think we should try to work our programs together. Their strength that they brought to the program was a very strong mentoring program, and it's allowed us to expand the services to teens ages 13 to 18. It's an after-school program, and also Friday and Saturday evenings with social activities. The focal point being both health fitness activities, recreational activities, tutoring, and mentoring.
Joe, one of the things that when you talk about that teen program and the social aspect, for 13 to 18, it was the Y who stepped up after the tragedy at Elbow Cone a few years ago, because we had nothing like this in the city of Elizabeth. Right. And do you see that some of the young people are participating as opposed to looking to go to these, an illegal nightclub or something like that?
The program has just taken off in the last several months. Right now we have about 150 or 60 teens that are teen members of the Y that come to this program on a regular basis. I think we average at least 40, maybe 30 or 40 teens a night. So it's been a great activity, and it's great to see them establish relationships with one another, and quite frankly do the mentoring to one another more than the staff does to them.
Kathy, the YMCA recently dedicated 2 new programs in Elizabeth, the George and Madeline Berry Transitional Homes and the John and Josephine YMCA Child Care Center. I had the pleasure to be there both, but first let's talk about the Berry housing. And who was Berry? For some of our viewers are going to know.
Berry Biscuit Company in Elizabeth was founded in the mid-1930s and was just a huge manufacturing company that supplied cookies to the Girl Scouts as well as the wafers for the ice cream bars. At one point they were producing 16 million cookies a day, which is just a huge amount.
I probably ate a lot of that too. Yeah.
And just been just a major family-owned and run company and business in the city for many years until they were acquired first by Quaker Oats and then by Interbank, and now unfortunately will be closing, but that whole site will be reinvented, I understand, with housing, which will be really good.
The George and Marilyn Berry, their daughter was there, correct? At
Right.
The transitional housing?
Right. Both George and Mary Lane are deceased. George died in the 60s, and Mary Lane's mother, Madeline, passed away in the mid-90s. After their death, Mary Lane became involved with some of the interests they had while they lived in the city. They were involved with St. Elizabeth Hospital, also the banking industry, and were connected with us, somewhat ironically, through Catholic Charities and Catholic Charities' interest in housing, and Mary Lane's interest in doing something for people who are really less fortunate.
And the YMCA Child Care Center, a longtime member of your board, John Jacobson, and his wife, Josephine, had the honor of that being named after them, and you really did a great job in the building, catty corner from City Hall. And it's great to see the kids. I was there for Santa this year as well, which was kind of, Joe, you were there.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, it was kind of a lot of fun
Yeah,
to see Santa interact with all those little kids.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us how that came about as well.
Well, the Planned Parenthood developed the building as a community center in cooperation with the J.C. Kellogg Foundation. And the Kellogg family is another name in the city. Kellogg Park was named after their great-grandfather and land that he owned in that area. And Mr. Kellogg wanted to do something that was of interest to his mom. His mom had been a longtime member of the Planned Parenthood board. And so they, in partnership with Planned Parenthood, developed this building to be a community center. And so not only is the Y in there with our child care center, but Family and Children's Agency as well as the Tri-County Red Cross are in the building, and together we're providing community services in Midtown Elizabeth. The Jacobsons' involvement goes back with the Y for many years, as you indicated. John was a long-term member of our board. John and his family own a family business also in Elizabeth. It's on Grand Street. John was the fourth generation, and now his son Tommy is the fifth generation to operate the company. They're a ceiling company. Originally, they specialized in very ornate and decorative plaster ceiling, but as that work has changed, they now specialize in acoustical ceilings and have done some of the premier ceilings in the country, American Express, the Rainbow Room in New York,